talking about weird places, I have to give, what's her fucking name? A lot of bloody credit for popping up at this random rave in New York somewhere. Big up Charlotte DeWitt. Allegedly, Charlotte DeWitt was rolling around in New York and she happened upon this little collective at Williamsburg who do these outdoor raves where they kind of do them, underground type of vibes. And she decided to put up on her social media account and kind of give them a bit of promo. But it's been met with some, with some opposing opinions as to what, if this was good or not, or did she blow up their spot. So I'm going to play a clip for you that features Charlotte DeWitt raving with these guys these guys who are part of this underground techno scene, I guess, in Williamsburg somewhere. So in my opinion, I think that's pretty cool. I don't mind it, personally. I don't mind it. I think, if anything, it's refreshing to see because from what I've heard, DJs in general are not the greatest when it comes to just chilling and hanging and vibing and partying and having a good time. Maybe they get jaded from all the gigs. Maybe they're cynical from seeing the other side of the industry, or maybe they're just cunts, but I don't know. But I've heard a lot of DJs aren't really the bestest people to hang out with and vibe with. So it's nice to see a DJ of her level. She's world famous, right? Like her, lump her attitude, her things that she's said and done in the past. She's definitely one of the biggest DJs out there. So for her to take time out of her day to actually go exploring the city that she's playing at and not just go there to play and duck and leave and stay in the hotel the whole time doing drugs, at least she's going out. And communicating with people, even if she is going out to maybe score some drugs, who knows? But the fact that she's going out and engaging with people and actually discovering, parts of the scene that probably a lot of people hadn't heard of outside of New York and blowing it up and giving it more attention is a great thing. Obviously, if they're an underground thing and they do it kind of ad hoc and it's all kind of done illegally and shit, maybe they'll be a little bit annoyed because it might bring unwanted attention to them. But I'd imagine it's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt to have more people who maybe want to be part of this scene, who didn't know it existed, seeing it for the first time and then wanting to go there for the next time that they're there. And it also, you'd imagine, for a raver or for a DJ like Charlotte DeWitt, who's one of the biggest ones out there, she plays at, festivals with hundreds and thousands, if not millions of people, in attendance and maybe watching after the fact. It's probably nice as well for her soul and for her spirit to be able to go and see something at the grassroots and be on the dance floor again like a regular person. Maybe not have maybe not have a bunch of people recognize who she is and shit. That must be quite nice because it kind of gives you faith. It kind of restores your faith in the scene, rejuvenates you, gives you the buzz that you need maybe to go and do your thing. And who knows, she might have even got some track IDs. That she might then implement in her own set list and start playing in places, which would be pretty cool as well, right? Imagine walking around looking for a record store, looking for places to go and score some gear at, and then you bump into this random rave and now you want to play some of the tunes that these guys were playing in your own set. That might be quite a cool thing to kind of see in the future. So I think it's a good thing. I like it. I don't mind it at all in the slightest. I think it's good for her to basically be highlighting and blowing them up. I think she even posted it on her main Instagram account, tagged the people as well and all sorts. They, I think, liked it. They were happy about it as well. So they seem to be happy. I think it's just miserable people on social media who are like, oh, it's underground. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Oh, it's like, shut up, man. Shut up. You're hosting a party on some bridge somewhere in Williamsburg in the daytime, come on, you're not exactly in a warehouse somewhere. Do you know what I mean? You're in the quote unquote public space. If people want to talk about their experience that they can, and if her blowing it up is going to add a couple more years to their runway, it's going to allow them maybe to do more parties, maybe charge, maybe start making some money, maybe hiring some people, maybe inspiring some new generation of people coming up. It's not a bad thing. Shut the fuck up. Stop fucking crying. I love to see it. It's great to see, and it shows that she is human after all, right? She probably doesn't look that human when she's behind the booth doing her thing and zoning in and chilling and playing and doing her vibes, but it does show that she's human. She's part of the scene. She loves it, as we all do, going out partying and raving and finding all those spots you're going to chill at, and it's all nice to see. I like it. I flipping like it, and I wish we could see more of it. Actually, we don't actually see a lot of that. We used to get a lot of those type of parties in London back in the day. I say pre-pandemic. Usually a lot of that, if you were around, you would know while going with the Hackney warehouses back in the day. They don't happen as much, or maybe I'm just not as plugged in. I don't see them. I still see forest raves. Those are still big here in London, where people will basically take a PA system, usually one of those ones that you just wheel in a little wheelbarrow, or they have wheels already on them, and you could plug. It's basically like a active speaker, and you just basically play your decks onto it or a phone, and they'll usually go in the forest somewhere and just party and maybe have a bucket and say, hey, give what you can for the fucking party. But that used to be a thing. That used to be really popular. In London, after hours, people were doing these forest raves, and I remember finding them myself. It was always fun because I would be raving in a club somewhere. It'd be 4 a.m. You get chucked out looking for the next place to kind of do your after party at, and you'd be wandering around the streets of London. And sometimes I would literally go to Hackney Wick, go to the marshes and shit, and literally be cupping my ears, walking down a canal trying to see if I can hear the fucking music. Obviously, sometimes you couldn't because they didn't want the music to be that loud so that they'll get kicked out and the police would come, but you'd be looking for it that way. Do you know what I mean? That's how fucking wild it got. So those places aren't really the same anymore. They don't really exist as much as they did in the past. I wish they did. Now everybody's going to clubs and pay for tickets and shit, and it's all commercial and legit and shit. The rawness, the edginess, the risque version is kind of dead and buried. But it's nice to see that that spirit is still alive in New York in certain parts. And it's cool to see her pushing it and promoting it. I love it. I frigging love it.